Yo, what's up, TCC, TU, and ORU? It is Samson here for another episode of the podcast, The Fitting Room. And I want to thank you for joining and being a part of this journey. And I'm excited because we have a new guest with us today. And before we take some time to introduce my man, I just want to say, if you have not had a chance to connect with our community, I'm going to throw the number here up on the screen for you to connect with us, because my goal is by the end of September going into October that we're going to start getting into giveaways. So if you want to be a part of the first batch of giveaways, which you have a really high chance of winning because there's not a lot of people who are on the subscription thus far. But once you get on this group, I guarantee you, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to hang out, giveaways, the whole nine. So aside from that, check that out. Get a part of the community. Now, without further ado, let's get into our guest for today. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from and your major.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? First of all, thank you, Samson, for having me on. My name is Keaton. I go to TCC here. I hope on getting an associate's degree in psychology. Hey. And in the meantime, I like producing music and listening to music and just having a good time with friends and stuff like that.
Sweet. Thank you so much for being willing to hop on, Keaton. And for those that don't know, we are kind of jumping into all years. So whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, we're inviting you to come on to the Fitting Room. And so if you want to be next, feel free to fill out that Google form. And so, Keaton, tell us, how did you get here? Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get here?
Yeah, so I came to TCC just out of nowhere, really. I didn't really intend on coming here. When I was in high school, I didn't have much plans whatsoever of what I was going to do in college. And so I want to say it was kind of last second, maybe towards the end of the school year. In 2023, when I graduated high school,
yeah,
I was looking at my options, and it looked like TCC had, the best, I just want to say, situation for what I needed. And I was looking at what they offered, and it looked like the associate's degree was perfect for what I wanted to do. So
yeah,
started going to class there, and it's just been a great environment. I've been enjoying volunteering here, going to school here.
Mm-hmm.
All the teachers and all the students that I've met here are real great. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of an unexpected thing for sure. But
no, that's what's up. Okay, so you said that this had the degree that you wanted to go and kind of push into. And so,
right.
What is it that you're wanting to push into?
I'm really liking psychology only because I feel like it gives you a lot of options for what you can do with your career.
Oh, yeah.
Because, say you get a job down the road, you may not want to stay at that job for 20 plus years. I mean, that's kind of unheard of nowadays. And
yeah.
I just think it's great to have option in your career, whether that means a different field or
Yep.
a different location, if you want to travel and work.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like the overall term psychology holds so many, jobs and
Yep.
and things like that. So, but ideally, I'd like to maybe look into something in the therapy world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a big step in my head because, just thinking off bat, a therapist would be an intense job. That's a lot of writing and I want to say, studying in your meantime you have to do. Even when you secure the job, you're constantly adding more to your repertoire. But I just think something in the field of therapy would be nice.
No, that's cool. And it's interesting because one of the first episodes that we did this season was with someone who also wanted to go into psychology. So it's kind of cool seeing that reality take place.
Right.
And so I'm curious as to what maybe played a role in you wanting to go into psychology. I mean, just out of curiosity from, growing up, did therapy play a role in your life? Did Was there something that you saw that inspired you or moved you in that direction?
I think honestly, at first it was just the fact that you could learn more about yourself. That's kind of a selfish one, but at first it's just kind of interesting to kind of think about the reasoning behind why you do things. And it's also a giant rabbit hole that can be bad that you can get yourself down, I would say. But overall, I would just say, like, looking around at today's problems and stuff, a lot of it, in my opinion, is kind of because of mental health. And I just think it can make a pretty big impact on even just the community and not only the world if we have more people that are able to step in and give, good information as far as mental health goes.
No, 100%. It's crazy, the mental health epidemic that we're experiencing. There's a lot of people who are battling a lot of different things. And so, I'm curious whether music maybe played a role in some of, because I'm a big believer in music being very therapeutic to people.
Right.
And it plays a big role in that. So I'm wondering if there's any crossover in you mentioning you enjoy music, making music, if that has a role in the therapeutic journey.
I think it 100% does, because at first when I was choosing a degree, I kind of thought to myself, I really do want to do music just as I want to do, maybe a therapy job, but where is this going to correlate with each other, music and therapy? But I thought about it, and I feel like half of music is just doing something with what you've already created.
Yeah.
So I think if you have more tools to, like, curate things or understand another artist's vision on a deeper level, I think it gives you more, like, insight into creating what you want at full force. You have ultimate customization, if you know all the parameters of what you're making, I feel like. So I feel like it definitely relates when it comes to that. And like you said, it's very therapeutic, like, not only for the creator, when someone's making music, but also the people that are going to hear that, and, if they like it or something like that, they're affected by that. And hopefully it's a positive effect.
No, that is the hope, right? Hopefully there's a positive effect. So you mentioned a little bit of a battle between psychology and music. Tell me what, I guess, is going through your mind when you're deciding, okay, do I want to do psychology? Do I want to do music? And how did you, in the end, kind of end up deciding that?
I feel like it's still a battle up until today.
It's still
like,
a battle. That's fair.
Yeah, because it's only my second year into college, and I feel like I'm still at the crossroads to where I'm like, I'm still trying to pursue music, but now I'm kind of understanding that I need to take school a little bit more seriously if I want to be serious about both. So I don't want to say that I'm having to rethink, like, which one I care more about, but I think I'm having to face the reality of what it looks like to care about both of those the same. And that means for music you'll have to sacrifice some hours to study some vocab, and for school you'll have to sacrifice maybe a couple of class periods for a music session you'll have with someone or something of the sort. So I think it all just comes with sacrifice, for sure. But I think I'm still trying to decide fully where I want to end up. But
or you want to land. No, that's true. And so when you say you're really been into, like, kind of the music space, is this writing music? Is this creating instrumentals or beats, or is it the production side of it? Is it all of it all together?
Yeah, mainly for me, I just will make beats. I mean, most of the work I've done is just me sitting in my room. I may use some melodies or a project. No, all good. From another producer, and so most of the work is just solo stuff, like beats I'll make, and I may send it to an artist, or I'll post my beats to YouTube, and in hopes of an artist seeing it or something like that. But I have helped artists with like audio production and stuff like that. If someone needs some help mixing their song, or they may have a different vision for the beat than me, and so I'll sit there and with the artist and tweak the beat and all that. But most of it is just beat making, I would say, for me at least as of now.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Where did that inspiration, where did that heart of making music, where did that come from? Was that something that recently became a part of your life, or was this something that started when you were younger? Did you have like older people who inspired you and moved you?
Yeah, I think I always like had an interest in music, but I never really played that many instruments growing up. I think we had a guitar laying around, but nothing ever serious. And like just growing up, like my mom was super into playing like Michael Jackson around me. My brother, like, he played the drums, and my dad, he likes a lot of these bands from the 70s. So I think I just always grew up around music. And my sister Taylor Swift, always playing her. So you got all these like different, I guess, influences at once. But I never really thought to do anything with it musically. I just liked listening to music. And so later down the line, in like 6th grade, I joined the band, and I played trombone for, I don't even know if it was a semester. I just wasn't liking it too much. And so I ditched the whole band thing and installed this program called FL Studio on my computer in like the 8th grade, the summer going into 8th grade, I think. And I had some friends using the same software, and I thought, it can't be that hard. Let me just try it out. Let me try to make a beat. And it was pretty bad. It was hard at first, but over time, you start learning the tools and everything in the program, and it gets easier. But it was just super random how I acted upon, I guess, making music at first. Because I don't know, if you would have asked me, like, at the time what I liked to do before music, it would have been, taking photographs or video editing or something. I wanted to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And maybe some sports here and there. But nowadays, I can't imagine myself doing anything but music. So it's just weird to think about life before that. But
yeah, it's cool. As I'm hearing you share these different parts, whether it's psychology or kind of your experience growing up, it sounds like music did a work to explain maybe some parts of you, or it did some type of self-discovery in the things you can articulate. And it sounds like psychology works to articulate some of that. And so it sounds like there's like this nice blend. That's
a great way of putting it. I've never even thought of it like that, but that definitely connects with one another, because as far as psychology goes, it does explain like some of the maybe shortcomings I think of in myself, like, maybe I need to be more outspoken or be more sociable. But with music, I feel like a lot of the time you can speak with the music, and that's a terrible thing socially, I would say. But if you care about just your art and your vision, I think that's a very good thing, that you can better explain yourself in terms of music. I feel like it just gives a different, sound to whatever you're making. And if you were drawing pictures, it would give a different look to the pictures. It just, that void that's missing or whatever is you, and that's what ends up making the art unique.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I've been in a lot of situations where, like, I've listened to a song and it moves me so much to the point I'm like, man, this explains how I feel right now, or like the season I'm in, or what I'm going through. And maybe it was the lyrics, maybe it was the track, but something in that just moves me. And so that's why So as I was listening, I was thinking about that. So if you were to say, what is maybe one big thing that music has helped you get through, or what is one thing that music has helped you grow in?
I think music has helped me find a group of people, I would say socially, just to grow with and not only learn more about music with, but, just to have a solid group of friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I would say in school I had a few close friends, but I wasn't really the best with making new friends and stuff like that. And so, I would try different sports and different, activities or whatever, but nothing really stuck with me until I found music and finding a home not only to express myself creatively, but to also meet other people that kind of had the same goals and interests as me was kind of nice because, when you feel like you're not meeting enough new people or making new friends or whatever, it can be a kind of a demotivating feeling for someone that age, like a teenager. So just being reminded that there's a world of other people that are pretty much just like you out there, it was comforting for sure.
No, that's awesome. It sounds like music really helped you to not only find yourself but find community as well.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's cool. Okay, so kind of like fast forwarding to like today and right now, what are some things that you are going through right now? Some things that maybe are positive, maybe some things that are challenges. What are you kind of facing right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm feeling a lot of stress, I'm not going to lie, just because of school. I'm used to, like in the summer, just having the whole day to, the day can be anything you make it. And I would just wake up, and whenever I felt like it, I would start working on music, later towards the day, see if any of my friends were out doing anything. And so I had like this set schedule, and now I'm seeing it kind of close in, and it's like, no, you really only get like an hour or two at the end of the day to work on this, or no, try this again like tomorrow morning. You need to study right now. But other than that, I would say I'm in a good space right now. I'm looking forward to like just being in school more. I'm taking this French class this year, and so I'm trying to pick stuff that requires you to be a little bit more involved and stuff like that. Because going back to what I said a little bit ago about TCC, I like the environment here, and I'm sure there's a lot here that I don't even know about. So I'm just glad to be here.
No, that's what's up. And so you mentioned right now going through a season where you feel as though the summer was kind of free and open, and now there's kind of these compact spaces with very little time in between.
Right.
So how are you, I guess, processing or navigating that? Do you feel like you have everything you need? Do you feel like you're kind of going uphill and it's getting harder? Do you feel like you're coming downhill, you're getting the hang of it? Or do you feel...
I would say it's uphill right now, only because of like the new classes and everything.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something that you haven't taken before. It's just kind of a whole, foreign thing at first. And so it is a little hard adjusting to that, but I found that just kind of being smarter about your schedule will fix all of that. And so what I've been doing more recently is I'll wake up and take care of my schoolwork in the morning, and then that leaves the rest of the day to do whatever else you need to do, and then you can finally get down to whatever you actually want to do. So
no, that's cool. And what's cool about what I'm hearing in this whole journey and process is you mentioning like the French class, and you mentioned earlier before we recorded about a speech class as well. And so you mentioned, it sounds like you are the type of individual that you like getting out of your comfort zone, or you like pushing yourself. Right. I mean, you're hopped on this podcast, so that's one thing as well, like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to do things like.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to think of myself like that, because deep down it is a little nerve-wracking sometimes to do that, to be, to do the discomforting thing. But it just always gives the best results. Like, and whether or not you end up, bombing the situation, or you end up doing great in the situation, you always leave with a lesson, whether it's good or bad. And so just from taking these different classes that, you're not really required to take per se or whatever, I think it's just giving me a different perspective on school and stuff. And I think that's why maybe I'm so, attracted to the TCC, campus or whatever. I think it's just a really nice place because it makes a lot of those classes, not so much of a hard thing. Everyone's pretty supportive that's around you. So
yeah. No, I definitely get what you mean. Sometimes we can go to other universities and they can feel kind of overwhelming. And to go to a place like TCC and say, you know what, I'm going to just take this French class, or I'm just going to do this thing to kind of get myself out of this comfort zone. It's almost as if it's a low risk because, you're also not paying a crazy, ridiculous amount for that class. So if you don't like it, it's like, it's worth a try of kind of getting yourself out there.
Exactly. And the teachers here, even like, when you're having your syllabus at the beginning of the year, they'll even reach out and be like, hey, at least the professors I have, they reached out and they're like, hey, I only want you to succeed. Like, if you start, slipping up in your course, just let me know. Just let me know. Like, we do not want you to fail this class. Just hearing all that is a good reminder of where you are and all that.
Yeah, no, I can agree. Just having taken classes here at TCC, I can agree that the staff and faculty on this campus, they're amazing. Yeah. They're amazing people.
Very chill.
They're very, very chill. No, that's cool. All right, so when you kind of see yourself down the line of time, and it could be when you finish school, or it could be 10, 20 years down the road, where do you kind of see yourself? Where are you going? Where do you see yourself going in the future?
Oh, man. I want to be just in a comfortable space, not only financially, but also just, I guess, socially. I want to be in a position where I'm not thinking to myself, man, I miss college, man, I miss high school. Like, that is not the goal. The goal is to hopefully look onward. So I want to be able to get like a job and everything to where I won't have to worry about, the everyday, worries. And hopefully that gives me some time to expand on what I want to do in life. I would love to just keep inspiring people in some way to produce music. I know that's something that I'm passionate about, but I would also like to find resources and maybe organizations that need help with either pushing that message or just simply with helping people. I really enjoy like Iron Gate, volunteering at this place called Iron Gate in Tulsa, and just finding ways to give back in the community, because I think that not only can you push your art or your creative vision or whatever you have to say to the world, but I think that you can also like inspire another like wave of people to do it again after you. And so you can just keep it going rather than, say your message and leave it there. I think that you can create like a chain reaction if things are done right. And that's the plan. So.
No, that's really cool. And before I go into this thought, just out of curiosity, does the French thing play any role? Like, do you have any desire to go to France or to do anything like that? I was just curious because you mentioned the French.
Not at all, surprisingly. I mean, I would love to go to France, but to be completely honest with you, I mean, the reason's just as simple. I just like French movies and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I'd find myself like watching all these movies in French, but I'd have to put like the closed captions on.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, I'm seeing like half of this movie right now because my eyes are just glued to the bottom. And so really that, and I did meet the professor on one of the like student orientation days, and she just seemed like a really good professor.
That's
cool. So so yeah, French movies, and once again TCC just being good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably what led me to French.
No, that's really cool. And as you're sharing all this in my mind, I'm just kind of I'm seeing how community played such a huge role in your life, and it continues to play this role in your life, where in the beginning, getting involved in music also gave you this community, revealing stuff about you, pushing yourself out of these boundaries and saying, oh man, I enjoy this. Even kind of going through TCC now, it sounds like community still plays that role in the staff and the faculty and the support that you get through this journey of discovering more about yourself.
Yeah.
And all, and even afterward, this desire to be a part of community, make a positive impact in the community. That's kind of this kind of almost silver line that I see in the story that you're sharing with us right now, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so important because, I mean, not personally speaking, but I know a lot of people that just feel like they walk through life just being disrespected, and no one really wants to be there in support of them.
Yeah.
And so I think it's nice to acknowledge like the times in life where that does happen, because it does really take like an outward response or something, like for someone to be what we call nice or whatever. It's not always just a natural reaction, natural instinct. And so I don't know, I just think it's nice to, if you do notice something positive that's been said to you or done to you, that you not only internalize it and hopefully spread that positivity on, but just remember it for future times, because stuff like that is always needed.
Yeah, no, it is always needed. And I definitely just from what you've shared, I feel like you have inspired people, whoever's going to watch this for sure, just the whole idea of getting out of your comfort zone, embracing community, because sometimes we can fall into this trap of isolation and being on our own. And I really sense that you don't experience the fullness of life until you break out of that isolation and get involved in community and really just embrace that. It has the ability to change your life, to give you new experiences. I mean, you could say, no, I was on this podcast, right? Like it adds flavor to your day and your your life. And so
100%.
One thing I want to ask, and this is kind of like almost like a closer question, but I want to ask, what word of encouragement would you give to somebody that's maybe coming into college, or maybe they're in college right now and they're nervous of getting out of their comfort zone? Because I feel like that's one thing that, hearing your story, you could really speak into. What advice or encouragement would you give to that person when it comes to getting outside of their comfort zone and trying something new, like music, right? That's scary, the new environment.
Sure.
What advice would you have, or taking a French class or hopping on a podcast? Like what advice would you give to them?
I would just say, I mean, always be willing to try new things, but that's pretty cliche. I would say, like, do what works for you, and that could be, a plethora of things, but I just feel like most of the time we kind of know what's best for ourselves, and that's not always the case. But if it's something in an area of your life where you want to express yourself, I feel like you should be confident in that, and you should listen to what you yourself have to say about going about doing that. Because I guess to avoid just being in a box or being like everyone else, you have to listen to that scared little voice inside of you, like the one that's maybe keeping you from doing these outgoing things. Or besides music, like if we leave that for a second, say you want to like travel the world and be a translator or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you the ways that would be done, but I can assume you just have to try a bunch of new things and be willing to have new conversations with people that you may be a little not intimidated by, but I feel like new things are always unfamiliar and foreign, and so it can be a little scary at first. So doing more of those uncomfortable, actions and stuff like that, I feel like can lead you to a more confident place for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. And as you were kind of sharing that last little bit, I don't know why, but I kind of envisioned Keaton in 8th grade when he started his music journey and wanting to create music. It didn't sound like he was on this ambitious adventure to be this, well-known producer and all these different things. It sounded like, hey, I'm gonna try to make a song. It's super simple. And as you mentioned, it's like, it was a bad song, but you grew and you kept doing it. And it sounds like that's that same word you're giving to someone, where it's like, hey, I don't know everything that entails, but you take that step and you keep taking steps. Eventually 100%. You'll be where you need to be.
Because I would say I was lost, like back then, just didn't know where to go with my free time. And I just kept trying different things. And, I've tried different things along the way that weren't for me. And so over time, just through experimenting, you will find that thing that, makes you feel confident in the thing. And I feel like you'll just know from that point on if it's for you or not.
Yeah, and I think that right there is really beautiful. And what I mean by that is, if people can learn to try something and be okay with, this didn't speak to me. Mm-hmm. This didn't resonate with me. I don't sense or feel anything in this direction, right? You sign up for the French class and you're like, I probably won't do that again. Or try go down the music journey. The music journey is not really for me, but eventually you'll find what it is that you are looking for. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like the thing will find you.
Exactly.
Right? As you get outside of your comfort zone, it'll find you.
100%.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you so much for being willing to share your story, man. This is it's amazing to be able to hear stories of students and kind of the journeys that they go through, and I look forward to just connecting with you in the future. And what's cool is, and this is for watchers, you as well, anyone who hops on these, what's cool is I feel like this could be almost like a way for you to 5 years down the road say like, hey, wait, I was on a podcast once, and you could like look back and see how you've grown throughout the years. Yeah. And so it's like just a nice way to take kind of like almost like a journal entry, like a video journal entry, or the people last season, an audio journal entry.
Oh yeah.
As they go throughout life. So thank you so much, man, for sharing your story.
Of course.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of The Fitting Room. It was lovely having y'all on. And so if you want to hop on The Fitting Room, feel free to fill out that Google form and we'll get in contact with you. And we would love to have you on for you to share your story. And so until then, I hope that y'all see how you fit in the fitting room. Till next time, peace.